What are the differences of using bonus depreciation over a 1031 exchange? And as the depreciation is sunsetting, do you think we'll see more 1031 exchanges happening moving forward?
So the difference is bonus depreciation is immediate expensing. So there's no real restrictions in what we do with that, other than if we're going to depreciate one asset that is a 5-year class life, we have to bonus depreciate the other assets that are 5 years. So we elect in or elect out, but it has to be over the entire life. But what that does is that gives us the ability to plan and be unrestricted in how we plan with bonus depreciation. Because if I've got $100,000 gain and I want to offset that, maybe I only want to offset $60,000 of it. Maybe I want to use $40,000 and invest in stocks or bonds or whatever it might be. Well, I can do that through bonus depreciation because I can look at how much do I need to invest in this deal and what is that bonus depreciation going to be. With the 1031 exchange, it's much more rigid. Well, I get $1 out of a deal, I have to put $1 into a new deal. If I don't put that $1 into that new deal, it's tax first, basis second. I always use the example, you own a property for 30 years, you paid off the mortgage, you have 100% cash deal, you sell that deal, maybe you only have a 80% gain. Well, if you don't put 100% of that deal into a new deal, you're going to pay tax on that 20% you took out. There's no way to get around that. So it's restrictive in that way. And it's also restrictive in that you've got timelines. You've got to hit a 45-day identification period, got to hit a 6-month close. And a lot of times the exchangers will hold your cash for 6 months and a day. So if you blow that 1031 exchange, you might still have to wait 6 months to get your cash back. So it's much more restrictive, it's much more cumbersome, and it doesn't give you a lot of ability to plan.
Yeah, when you just said taxed first, basis second, what is basis? How can you describe basis in layman's term?
It's taxed money. So ultimately, you have $1, you invest in a deal. That $1 essentially is usually taxed. It's money that you've already paid tax on. So that's basis, meaning if I put $1 into a deal and I get $1 out, I don't pay tax on that $1 I get out because it was basis that I put in. Now, if I put $1 in and I get $2 out, then I'm going to pay $1 of gain on that $1 I got out above my basis of $1. And in a 1031 exchange, the gain is the froth and the basis is the liquid. And so ultimately, if you're taking anything out of that cup, it's froth first. So ultimately, you're going to pay tax on that froth. And then once you get below the froth, then it's going to be basis. So it's a little bit more restrictive in that you're essentially paying tax first on any dollar you take out of a 1031 exchange.
When does bonus depreciation phase out?
So bonus depreciation is falling off. As of 2026, it will be gone. So I do think in the 1031 exchange realm, you will see that people will start doing more and more 1031 exchanges because at that point, it will be beneficial for deferring tax. So really with bonus depreciation, all we're doing is we're deferring tax. We're just deferring tax how we want to defer tax. We're kicking that tax deferral down the road. Each time we sell a property, reinvest in a property, that's going to give us a bonus depreciation loss. We're just doing what a 1031 exchange is doing. We're just doing it using the current tax law. So as that bonus depreciation starts to phase out, 1031 exchanges become more and more prevalent. Before bonus depreciation in real estate, we would do cost segregation studies like we do now, but we have the ability to put those in service when we want to put those in service. So we can do a cost segregation study today and put it in service 7 years from now. And so what we were doing back then is we were doing cost segregation studies on properties that had already been in service in years of immense gain. So you've got 10 properties, you sell a property in year 7 that has $1 million gain. We do a cost segregation study on properties that are already in service, and we pull all the depreciation we would have gotten if we put that depreciation in service in day one into the day we put that cost segregation study into service. So it was giving us the ability to basically do what bonus depreciation is doing now, just more strategically.